Good folks, welcome to this recorded webinar. So I guess you call this like a vlog or a video podcast. So anyway, welcome in. We're going to have a look today at one of my favorite tools, and that is Google Vids. So let's have a look at my screen. So from my homepage, I'm going to go to my waffle up here, jump down and head to Google Vids. So I can get it there. I can go to my drive. I can go up to the plus and go plus vids there, or I can just in my address bar type vids.new. So I'm going to go to vids here, open up that vids tab, and this is what you see when you go into vids first of all. So we have the first option to record and share, the second to upload and create, the third to start with a template, the fourth to import slides, the fifth just to start with a new blank vid. So if I want to record and share, it is going to just switch on my camera and allow me to record a piece straight to the screen. If I want to upload and create, I can drop in some photos, some videos from my drive. Starting from a template gives us some pre-created templates to use, or just to import a slides, we'll just open up a slide deck and drop that in and convert it into a vid. So I'm going to start with a template. So I'm going to go to that first. I'm going to choose the one that says introducing the school here. So I click on that. It opens up the template. Now, each of these pieces down the bottom are called a scene. So each one of these is a different scene. And what I can do is I might just choose multiple scenes, or I can just go insert the whole lot. So I'm going to go insert the whole lot. So if I do that, it drops it in. Now you can see all those scenes are sitting along the bottom. Here is my scene I'm currently on, is the one that sits in the middle here. On the right-hand side, I can choose a style. So I might want to do blue. I'm just going to do a bit of a blue one there, go OK. And then what I can do is I can start to update some of the text on here, for instance, so I can play with my styles. Now, I'm on my first scene here, and this template gives me the ability just to click in and change things. I could change the name up here. I can go year 9, Mr. Smith. Okay, and I could probably spell it right as well. Year 9, Mr. Smith. Then if I want to go in here, I can actually click on record video. And that's a little placeholder there, and I can go record video. So I'm going to click on that now. Jump into here, click. When this opens up, you can see I've got my camera and screen, or I've got my screen. I just want to do my camera. I'm going to click record. Hi everyone, welcome to our school this year. It's really great to have you in our class. Let's see what the year holds. I'm going to click stop on that. There. Stop. There we go. Done. I can click preview, or I can just go for a direct insert. I'm going to go directly insert that. So now you can see in that video placeholder is that video I just created. Now I can make that big and small as well if I want. So there are a bunch of different placeholders we can use, okay? The other one that was in there was the ability to drop in something from my drive, okay? So that's how we can use a template. Let's have a look at what that first scene looks like. Hi everyone, welcome to our school this year. It's really great to have you in our class. Let's see what the year holds. I'm going to click stop on that. There. So what you'll notice is that we click through to the next one. All of these that are on here are placeholders. So I can do exactly the same thing here, or I can select a video from my drive. So if I have one in my drive, I can actually select it and drop it into there. Okay, so these are all our different scenes. You heard some music playing. That's what's sitting along the bottom here. So there's our music, and I can change it if I want to. There is a little volume control here to play with the sound. So I can have auto transition fading in, fading out. I can have the ability that when I start talking, it will lower the volume as well, which is down the bottom there. So that's our sound. We got to that by simply clicking on the sound. So when we're using a template, that's how it looks. Click through it, change all the placeholders, add the things you want to add. Then up in the top right is our share. Click on share, give it a title. There we go, and go save. It gives it a name, and then we can see the really familiar sharing box that is on any drive file, because vids are just drive files. Okay, I can choose down here how I want it to look. Anyone with a link could be a viewer, for instance. Then if I share it with people, they'd make their own copy and off they go. So that's how we can start with a template. Now I'm going to start a fresh one and take you through a few of the controls. So here we are back at the beginning again. Now, if I go blank vid, I'll show you how. Now, so if I go import slides, I could put slides in there as well. Okay, but I'm going to start with a blank vid, and this is what my workspace looks like. So down the bottom we have our scenes. So I might want to insert some more scenes. So I'm going to go and insert 2 more scenes. Click the plus. There's 2 more scenes. Now on our first scene here, I want to put in some text. So I'm going to go insert some text. Now on the right hand side, it opens up a whole lot of different things we can use, whether you want a subtitle, a title, and I actually wouldn't mind doing that one. So there we go. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. Let's get crazy and rotate it around a little bit. There we go. Woo, crazy, crazy. So there we have, that's on our first scene there. Jump to the next one. I'm going to go, right, on that one, I want to actually put a video placeholder. So I'm going to go insert, video placeholder. It opens up some shapes. And I want a rounded rectangle. And I want it sitting there like that. Right smack bang in the middle. And actually, I wouldn't mind making that background a dark color. There we go. So now I've got the video sitting in the middle of a dark background. Actually, I can make it a bit bigger. There we go. So we can play around with that. And the third one I'm going to have is I actually wouldn't mind putting a picture in there. So I'm going to go insert. We could upload. We could do drive and photos, or we could do stock and web. And I'm going to do stock. And then I can choose some stock images. I want to put in, oh, that one, nice one. There we go. I'm going to put 2 in here. Do that. Now, because we're still on the stock page, I'm going to grab that one. There we go. Let's drop those in there. Now we have 2 images on my page. Mess around with them a little bit because why not? There we go. Okay, so we have 2 images on that page now. Now that is effectively a template that I could send out to my students. So I can share it, or I can save it as a vid, and then when I'm in classroom, I can assign this as an assignment. In classroom, we could do individual versions of this, or we could use our groups in classroom, and we could give this template to blue group, and then another template to green group, and another template to orange group. Or this template could go to all 4 groups in my class, for instance, and they can collaboratively work on this. Now, when our learners get the vid, they can then go in and add some more scenes if they want to. Now, I've made my template, and I think to myself, actually, I wouldn't mind putting a script over the top of this. So I'm going to go into my second one. That's where my video is going to be. I'm going to go over here and click script. Scene 2, add my script. So I'm going to click in here. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to put my script in here. Now, I could have already created a script, or I can just type it straight in here. So if you're thinking about doing this as a group work, one person could be writing the scripts. Someone else could be doing the video pieces. So I'm just going to go hello and welcome to group. We have been investigating photosynthesis. I hope you learn something. I hope you learn something. All right. So that's my script that I've written for this scene. Now you notice that I can actually write a script for all of my scenes, but I've just got a video on this one, so I'm only going to put a script in here. Now, if I wanted to put a script on that first scene, I could just record a voiceover that goes over the top of this, but doesn't actually show up as a video. So I might go, hi, my name is Steve. Welcome to my vid. Okay, so that's my script. Now I'm happy with the way that looks. Actually, let's make, I click into there and I click the background. I'm going to go grey on that one because why not? So I have my first scene, I have my video on my second, and I have my images on the third. Now I'm going to then choose, if I go back to the beginning, I'm going to choose some music. So over on the right hand side, stock, go backwards. I'm going to go music. I'm going to choose some ambient music. And I'm going to wait till that loads. So I'm going to go for the tiny waterfall. What does it sound like? Oh, it's a little bit like white noise. Let's see what lo-fi astonishment. That sounds good to me. I am going to add that. So you notice that it is all along the bottom. Now it's also clipped it at the end of that last scene. Okay. So what I might do is I can actually go to the end here and I can click that and it's gone. Now I can put multiple soundtracks on it if I want to, but at the moment I'm just going to put that one in there. Now, if we have a look at what that template looks like, let's click play. Video plays. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to click out of there. All right, so we've got our music on there. We've got our images, and I'm going to ask my students to replace those images. If I click back, you can see in our stock, we've got stock video, we've got music, we've got images, we've got stickers if we want stickers on there. We've got some GIFs as well, and we've got some Google images through there as well. Down the right-hand side, we can click record. We've seen our script. I can choose uploads to grab something from my drive. So if I wanted to grab this video, I could drop it into there as well and have a video sitting on that page. So there's a video I've created inside of my drive, but I don't want to add that one, so I'm going to leave that. I've got to stop. We looked at, there's our text, there's our shapes, and if we want to change our template or apply a template, we can do that one there. Now, we have everything set up. So that's my template. I'm going to give my template a name. Introducing. Now, I think we're doing photosynthesis, weren't we? So let's do photosynthesis like that. Okay. Now, when we have that set up, we can then choose what we are going to use as our voiceover or as our video type. Now, if I, let me just grab this, I'm going to grab an image, there we go. So I'm going to open that up. Now, I'm just going to get a little image ready to show you a demonstration of how we can do something else as well. So let's do this. Right. So I'm putting together some resources as my students probably would. if I go back into my video here, so I've got everything sorted out in the background that I need. I'm going to go to this scene, okay? And what I can do is I can click on record. I'm going to click record. And that will then open up my camera. And I can choose whether I'm going to do a camera and my screen, or just my screen. So if I wanted to do a voiceover, I can go, I actually want this diagram. So I'm choosing which tab to share. So now I'm sharing this tab here. What I can then do is I can click record, and it will record me talking over the top of this image. Okay, so let's do that and see how that looks like. Let's go start recording. Here we go. Here's an example of the process of photosynthesis. The sunlight comes into the leaves. Coming out at the end is oxygen and sugars. Carbon dioxide also goes in, and water comes into the plant. Those are the inputs and the outputs of photosynthesis. So I've now created that little video. It's putting it all together. And what we can then do is we can drop it in to our vid. So I can either preview it, or I can just go insert. Or if I come back here, I might want to change the way that I am presenting. So I can now click back to my camera if I want to. Or I could just record my voiceover. So what I can do is I'm going to go, actually, you know what? I'm going to continue recording on this. So I click resume recording. And then I can continue to record and talk about what you can see on this image. So thanks for listening to my information about my image. Let's end that here. So I've done that. I'm going to go insert, and it's going to drop it in there. So there is my process of photosynthesis. Okay. Now I might want to go, you know what? I think I want to add a real quick little welcome. So I'm going to go back to here. I'm then going to go plus. You notice I've dropped a new scene in there. I'm going to go insert. I'm going to go video placeholder. I might do a round one this time. In there. Make it a bit bigger. There. That's I'm going to do a background, grey background. There we go. That's not quite in the middle, so I'll move that up a little bit. There we are. I'm going to put a little bit around the outside, a little border. That's my video placeholder all done. Now I've got my scripts. I actually have my script on my other one, didn't I? So I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to copy that script and drop it back to my first one. There we go. Done. All right. I'm going to now do a little voiceover on the camera. Let's go record video. So if I jump into here, you'll now see that that script has appeared on my screen. So I'm going to record that. And nicely, I look right at the top of my screen when I read my script. So here we go. Do my countdown. Hello and welcome to our group. We have been investigating photosynthesis. I hope you learned something new today. I'm going to insert that. Insert. So those are two ways we can use video. We can use it as a piece to camera like this, or we can use it as a screen share and a voiceover. So let's look at how that looks. We'll go right back to the beginning and go play. Hello and welcome to our group. We have been investigating photosynthesis. I hope you learned something new today. Here's an example of the process of photosynthesis. The sunlight comes into the leaves. Okay, we have identified a problem. The problem is that audio is way too loud. So I'm going to click on the track, click on the sound, go up to here, and I'm going to do lower the volume of other clips while this clip plays. Actually, I want to go background, lower the volume of this clip while the narrative clips play. Okay. Then I've got my audio recording. I'm going to make that narrative. Or I can drag these sliders up and down as well. Now, let's see how that sounds. Come back to here. Let's go play. Hello and welcome to our group. We have been investigating photosynthesis. I hope you learned something new today. Here's an example of the process of photosynthesis. The sunlight comes into the... So there you can see that we've actually changed that audio level of the recording and of the videos there. So that's how we've now got our intro scene, our piece to camera, or our, oh, that's a crazy one to be stuck on. Look at that. We've got our piece of to camera there, and we've got now our explaining what's on our desktop. So that's how we've now got created our little vid which explains photosynthesis. Now at the end, we might have some pictures we're going to change out with these ones. So that's a real simple look at how you can use vids to add something to it, to create a piece to camera or a little screen share, and to play around with those audio levels. Now, if we want to, we can click into the transitions. So click on that transition in the middle. We can have a look at our different transitions we've got. What we can also do is we can maybe add, if I think that's actually still a little bit too loud, I'm going to click on the audio track, click on that, and I'm going to drag that volume down to 60%. Okay. And that will then make that sound not quite so loud as we go through here. So if I have a look again, choose it, check it again. So yeah, volume is lower. Hello and welcome to our group. We have been investigating photosynthesis. So you can see now that the level there is much better. So there's our sound all done. Now, once we have got our vid all ready to publish, we can head up to the top here, click on File, and we can share it back with someone or share it with our class. We can download as an MP4, or we can export it to Drive. So those are our three options through there. You'll see there is also a version history on there. We can come up to here. If we want to keep working, we can just go import slides. So that's a little look at how we can use vids to create a video. Now, this is the same version you will see of vids in your school account, because I am using my school demo account here. When we get to vids at the beginning, let's do a new video. We have that ability to just record and share. So if I click that one, it's going to take us direct to a straightaway record. We just share that tab. So here we go. We've got new. I've just gone, let me close that. I've gone back to that start point of our vid. So if I just go new video like I did, we get to this one, we go record and share. You can see it just opens up straight away with the options for camera, camera and screen, or even just audio. So you can just do a voiceover. Now back on here, if we go record, we've got the same options: camera and screen, or audio. So you could get someone who just records the voiceovers and they don't actually want to be on the camera. Okay, so we have record, we have scripts, we have uploads, we have our stock, we have text, we have shapes, and we have templates. So we can choose our template as we go through there. Okay, so that's that right-hand side. This was just starting a new vid and doing record straight away. So those are the ways we can start a vid. Now I'm going to jump over to a different account and show you one of the functionalities you get if you have a Gemini license. So when you start a vid, when you have a Gemini license, it actually looks a little bit different. So I'm going to jump over to this tab here. I'm going to a different account. So this is my teacher account where I've paid for a Gemini license. I've paid for a monthly license. If I go Vids, you'll notice that it looks very different. There are some different functionalities. So what I get with my license is the ability to create an AI avatar. So I can click that. I can give a script. Hello and welcome to our vid. And I can choose the avatar that I want to actually read.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers will respond to your video.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers will respond to your video.
The voice you select makes a difference in how viewers will respond to your video.
So
It should fit your...
select Leo as my avatar. And Leo is just going to read
Hello and welcome to our vid.
Here we go. Simple as, easy, create an avatar. I'm going to let that render, drop it in, and that's going to be my first scene. So with the Gemini license that I know lots of people out there have, Vids looks very, very different. So we've done that one. I can drop him in there, but I'm going to cancel that. If I go back to a new video, let's go back to that start page. The other thing there was we can actually bring in a storyboard. We've got AI avatars. You'll notice we also have VO3. So I can actually ask VO to make me a video. Okay, so I could click that. I'm going to go
indicates
some down the bottom.
And as the
and these are all AI generated videos. Okay, so I might just go create and a video of a kiwi bird in a boat saying, hello, everyone. And I can go create. Now you notice on the right-hand side here, when I have that Gemini license, there are some different things in here. There's my avatars and there's my VO. So VO is my Google's video creation tool. So we'll just let this run through and then we'll have a look at what that video looks like. And then I'll show you one last function that you can use when you have that Gemini license. So if I actually go into a new scene here, I am going to quickly jump in and change that. So I'm just working in the background here while you can see that one is being built. And I'm going to quickly jump in and start another vid and show you what that looks like. It's around 95%. While that one in the background's loading, let's have a look at what's come out with that real little prompt I dropped in. Now, I would obviously make that prompt a lot bigger if I was creating this, and VO will create an 8-second video. Here we go. Let's see what this looks like.
Hello, everyone.
Here we go. So if I try to do that, I can drop that little video I've created into my vid. There we go. And it looks just like that.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so that's using VO to create that video. Now, if we jump over to this other last little one here, I'm going to go storyboard. Now, I might go create a video about the history of Wellington in New Zealand. Next. It will then create me the storyboard through here. So here it comes. If I like that, I can just go, that looks fantastic. Let's go next. I'm going to choose, let's go that template, create the draft video. And what it will do is it will begin to create that video for me. Now, Gemini here is writing the script, recording the voiceovers, making the videos, making the images, making the story, as we saw from that very first one. So here we are in our video that was just created about Wellington, New Zealand. Now, the nice piece about this, if you have the Gemini license and it will create this for you, is that you can make this and then give it out to your class, and there is your template all ready to go. So let's have a look at what this one looks like. Look, it didn't. Let me just reload that one because it didn't create that video correctly. But there we go. Back to the history of Wellington. Oh, I've stopped sharing as well. Let me jump into my share. History of Wellington. Share that. And if I click play, hopefully this is going to play for us. Let's see what it does. Is it still writing everything for me? Maybe it is. Let's let that spin a little bit. And you notice down on the right-hand side, I have a whole lot of different sounds. Okay, so that's got all my different tracks in there. It is still creating. You can see actually it's still writing some of these things. So I'm just going to do a little pause there for a minute because I can see that some of these videos are still dropping in down the bottom. Now, because Gemini has created this for me, you can also see there is a little audio track there. So I've got the audio track, and then we have all the voiceover tracks through here. So this one is creating everything for me. If I jump into this one, you can see there are a couple of videos inside there. There is an image in this one, and I can choose to change those as well. So there's lots of things we can use this pre-created Gemini version of Vids for. You'll notice if I click into scripts, it has all the script through there as well. Okay. So when you're using Vids and you have that Gemini license, you have that different starting point. There are a whole lot more things you can do with it. But if I go back to the regular one, back to this tab here. So when you start it in your school account, new video, you're going to see this. I've jumped back into my paid for version. Let's go back into my school account. When you're in your school account, you're going to see, here we go, you're going to see those 4 main starts plus your blank vid. So that's a bit of a look over Google Vids. They are limited to 10 minutes and less, which is great because if you're giving them to students, you're not going to get a 38-minute long video from that class or from that group. They are collaborative. So in your vid, you can go up to the top here, okay, and you can share it once you give it a name. So you can share it with a group of students, okay, as editors or as viewers. They can make their own copy and work on it themselves. A great way to start is to start with a template. Get the students used to using the template. Then give them free rein just with a blank vid. So that's a bit of a look over Vids, how you can use them, the different controls down the right-hand side. Once you're in Vids, if you go to Help and Training, it will actually click you out to this support page, which has a whole lot of information to help you use it. So that's a little look over Google Vids. I hope you found it useful. It's a great tool, excellent for staff to make videos or for students to make videos, either to show their learning or as part of an assignment, or maybe your senior students are going to welcome your junior students to the school. So that's a look around Vids. Sorry I couldn't be there in person, but I hope you enjoy this video podcast.